Same mechanic here. These are full barriers. Woo! Okay. They will event. Oh my goodness, 4 of them? 5, 6? What is even going on here? Jeez. Wow. That's nice. That's very nice. Getting a nice little legendary pop there. Wow. That hurt. That hurt a lot. Hello, creatures, and welcome back to Death Must Die. This time around, we have the perfect build for a Darkness 30 run. And I know that because I've already gotten the Master Healing. I think this will be super helpful in just correcting any of the mistakes that we make. And we have time, and I'm waiting for death to show up to make things even just a little bit easier for us. What we really want to happen when death shows up is to also get mayhem. I've noticed that feels like a lot rarer now, so we don't seem to see it popping up nearly as frequently as it used to. But yes, this should be the only guy that you need to actually get through an entire Darkness 30 run very easily. If you have difficulty using Maris because of the aimed projectiles, or maybe you don't have a full build for them yet, go ahead and check out Scotty as well. They have a passive that gives them up to 2.4 health a second, which can help correct a lot of mistakes, which is kind of what I'm going for with this Master Healing. You don't have to have Master Healing. It just makes it a lot easier. Also, if you're having trouble aiming with Maris, there we go. Lifelink is definitely the best dash that we can get. If you're having trouble aiming with Maris, tap your auto attack. So that for me on keyboard is Q. So it's going to automatically aim to where you need it to, and I can do all of this with my other hand and not even have to bother with aiming where I need to. It's quite useful when you are maybe not the most accurate with your Maris shots, or any character really, and you just want to freehand one hand move around the Death's Realm. Don't leave it on all the time because you have a movement penalty when you are auto attacking. But it makes it very quick and easy to automatically select the closest danger. That's what we wanted. Attack projectile count. I would have preferred that was slightly higher than Adept, but you know what? Even still, getting 2 extra projectiles is going to greatly increase our overall damage. Now, I basically threw away my last staff, even though it gave me 3 projectiles. I threw it away because it was less than half of the single projectile damage that I was putting out with this staff that I have. So something to note. Something to note when you are measuring your weapons capabilities and whether or not it's worth keeping. The projected estimated. Do we have a staff in here? We'll go with a little bit of force. The estimated DPS loss or gain is based on if you can hit literally every single bit of your abilities, and also like the AoE involved as well. So if it's single target, it's not going to do that much damage. It won't do as much damage as your base, whatever your item is saying. So this one says it does 84 to 95. It's quite nice. The other item that I had said that did like 50 just about per shot. So quick mass, 3 times that would have been slightly more. Just taking some damage here. Would have been slightly more than what we do with a single projectile here, but it also just simply would not have done a lot of damage to single targets because of the little extra projectiles. They don't all hit the one target you're aiming at unless you go for a skill that makes it so that Maris's abilities always aim towards an enemy. And personally, I don't think that one's good. I think it actually really hurts. I think they just need to work on the trajectory aiming, because I've had it where I've thrown it directly at someone and it does like a wibble wobble and completely misses them. It just needs to be tweaked a little bit. We'll go for some Master Execution since we're also pairing. Necromancy could be really good too. I want more experience. I want to get that maximum experience possible, maybe even get past the level 30, possibly. I've done it quite a few times with Maris just because especially with the warped strikes, it's quite a lot easier because you're just generating free experience. Let's keep moving. Oh, my music stopped in the background. I mean, my personal music. So yes, if you are having trouble getting these Darkness 30 runs, or even just a base run, check out Maris. Use Scotty because they, I feel like, are kind of the general easier character because of the extra healing that they get. And they might be the only character that I can actually get an AFK run with. If my previous recorded video didn't make it out before this one, then I will quickly explain. Basically, I'm going for a never move challenge where I am completely AFK and just turn on the auto attack for whatever character I'm using. And that's it. We just try to never move, which is kind of really difficult in a game where you have to use your dodge ability to dodge out on a lot of damage. So I think the only way to get past that is to just have a ton of regen. and maybe even some really good summons. I feel like everyone that's done it has done it with... My mouse disappeared. Time Field's okay, but I don't personally care for it. Wow, we don't get like any extra damage through our warp strikes. We are fully dependent on all of these bounces actually bouncing back and doing extra damage, but it just feels like it does more damage. Like, it feels like the bouncing strikes simply do more damage. Did we get like an orange one through that skeleton? No, it must have been from the Black Knight. Okay, we need to pick up a couple of these other altars as well. We're about to hit the 7-minute mark. Oh no. Okay, it's just a base. Okay. When that 7-minute mark hits, that is when the left and right hand show up. They are Draculas and not Draculas. They are gargoyles apparently, and not dragons like I initially thought they were. So when the 7-minute mark hits, you are going to want to have your dashes available. That should not have hit me. I'll explain that little nifty trick here in a second too. The gargoyles will sometimes immediately start with a dash directly at you. So you want to have your dashes available as soon as that 7-second... Oh, the evade really coming in handy there. As soon as that 7-minute mark hits. When that 7-minute mark hits, sometimes they just immediately go for a dash. Okay, very happy to have had that little extra dash there. So, I got hit earlier. You saw that, and it looked to me like I was definitely clear of it. Definitely felt like most of my character was out of the way. But the thing that actually is happening is the character hitboxes are, I think, a little misaligned. I think they have it... Okay, I think I might have figured out what the bug is. Bug, I don't know. I feel weird doing air quotes, and maybe I shouldn't be doing it. Ooh! We already have a revive. We're going to go for Master Gem High. The temporal rewind is fine, but then you end up having to be back in here for another minute, and if you were going to die there anyways, it might not actually be helpful for you. So, here... Man, I love Gem High. They definitely nerfed it a few times, but because we have a Master Gem High, we should be able to hold on to this quite well. We can go for an Adept Ravens of Pestilence. I would really, really enjoy getting that Mayhem to pop early. The earlier we get Mayhem to pop, the better. But I swear, they made those single ones significantly more rare to even show up. Man, Gem High is so good. So, when I was trying to explain that whole hitbox area situation, if you look at Maris's shadow, then you, to me, I think if you're not going to make like the actual character hitbox, oh dang, that sucks. The character themselves, the hitbox, I don't think you should, especially if you're projecting the hitbox on the ground. The shadow makes sense as a, like, how you would be hit. So I would think that the shadow is kind of like your hitbox. And what seems to happen is, there's the Mayhem. We'll go ahead and pick it up, even though it's a novice. It seems so rare to even show up. There we go. Yeah, master attack speed sounds great. A little bit of extra rerolls would be fine, but we've already got our god selected, so we don't necessarily need it. It seems like when the shadow is not completely engulfed in a red mark, so check. Oh, well, I feel like I wasn't quite. I'm trying to show this off here. Yeah, so sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't. All of that to say, I personally feel like I get hit significantly less often when I am moving down and to the side. So if I'm just moving downwards and to the side, I feel less likely to get hit. Ooh, a whole bunch of expert offers are pretty nice. What is our... We have a 3% chance at an expert. That was pretty lucky. Very nice. So yeah, if I'm just moving down and to the side, I much less frequently get hit by anything. So that is just, I think, probably the biggest tip that I can offer to anyone that is having trouble getting to the end. Don't move up. Do not move up. I'm talking over more, and I do apologize for that. I feel very, very bad for that. I know that in a boss fight, you're kind of stuck in an area, but if you can avoid moving up above the boss or whatever enemy might be coming after you, you're much less likely to be hit by any of their attacks. Just gonna go ahead and beef this one up here. Yeah, I'm really pushing that to its maximum. Gosh, I really enjoy some extra attack speed. This Gem High paired with Fortune's extra attack speed. Look at this. We are just a full array of just splinter projectiles all over the screen. Lifelink is crazy strong for a dash, and I really, really love it. Yeah, this should be... If I die in this run, I'm going to be very, very sad, but this should basically be the easiest Darkness 30 run that I could get. I didn't even... Well, okay, obviously I didn't record the whole first couple of minutes because I wanted to guarantee that I'd get a couple of gods I actually wanted. But just by getting these 3 gods every time, I feel like it's just super easy to get a bunch of wins. So then it becomes kind of difficult for me to justify picking any other gods because it feels like they just don't synergizes well. Maybe I just don't have the right builds for spells. Maybe I'm too focused on actually like on attacks. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm too focused on like auto attack builds, and having a spell build would be very handy. But I really have a problem with the spell builds in that I have a couple of items I've spent many hours gathering, but because of how the whole locking to a character thing works, I can't use that build for several different items on different people. I can't swap it out if I want to. And that is very frustrating to me, because we've already got, check this out, the headbands, the armor, all these are light class armor and stuff. I'm getting a little bit flustered because I'm also trying to just keep running around the entire battlefield. But basically, what I'm trying to get at is armor and builds already have a lockout system because Scotty and Maris can't swap a helmet. They are different weight classes in their... extra experience might be nice. I really don't think grabbing more force is good. I just saw that was a depth and probably not worth actually picking up. Ooh, but it is doing quite a bit of extra damage. I do enjoy that. That is quite nice. Wow, look at all of those gems. This build generates so many gems that we actually see the red gem show up. Which the red gem, I should have picked up like Soul Stealers or something. We have Mayhem and I'm really not stacking it. 4%. I am just dishing out so much damage that I am just not letting my crows deal any curse damage. This is where you could make an argument that picking up Mort's little auto attack passive could be very beneficial, because it would actually give you the easy way of... I feel like the crows don't do as much curse damage anymore. Mort's auto attack basically lets you do a full curse without having to wait. So that green health bar that pops up on these slimes, wow, that's so many skeletons. That green health bar that pops up on these slimes is a curse, and after a few seconds, what are you? Are you just... Must have just been a heart, like behind a rock or something. I thought that was something special. Oh, I'm so slow now. Wow, that was a lot of skeletons on screen. That's nice. I feel like this is what I'm talking about. If I'm moving down and at an angle, like just stair-stepping to the side, I'm much less likely to actually get hit by any of these attacks that are coming at me, especially when the assassins come on screen. I'd like to get Divine Shield, but I need it to not be a novice Divine Shield. Yeah, I mean, even without this crazy amount of Warp Strike movement speed that I have going on here, just simply moving to the side and then down, because of how the assassin's attack is, it's just a triangle. Moving further away from them means you're not at the base, so they have a lot smaller area to hit you. And then immediately just moving at an angle, all of a sudden, they are no longer aiming at you, so it makes it significantly easier to avoid those attacks. Now, what's going to come up here in a minute, I think it's like the 15 minute mark. I'm not even really certain what time it is when that shows up. But the skeletons that shoot green projectiles at you, that personally might be... Thank goodness for my evade. Oh my goodness. The skeletons are just tearing up the Necromancer. Thank you. Thank you, skeletons, for doing that job for me. I'd really like to get something other than force, but give me the expert, I guess. This does so much more damage than what we were initially doing, and I think a lot of that is coming from the skeletons. This build is just easy wins, like almost all of the time. I feel like the other gods either need some sort of rework. Please do not nerf this build. I don't want more crazy difficulty in the game. I want to just have fun, to enjoy playing other builds. So, I mean, I'd really enjoy seeing like lightning and ice and fire. I think those would be only other gods. I'd love to see those get more damage. I'm very happy that the devs actually reworked this to... Do I want... Sure, we'll go for that level. I really love that the devs actually went and took the original Darkness 30 and fixed it so that way you could actually get some healing. Because if you're coming into Death Must Die just now, you may not know that the Darkness 30 run meant that you could not heal at all. And honestly, I don't know how anyone managed to do that. Like, maybe they had a whole bunch of revives or just a crazy powerful spell build or something. Again, I might be focusing too much on the auto attack builds, but I enjoy the auto attack build more. There's just something significantly more satisfying to me about being able to just throw all of these projectiles out on screen. And maybe there should be something said to the fact that I only have like a couple of wins on the other characters. Well, I do have the get a win on everyone. Ooh. Yep. No thank you, Day of Judgment. I'm just going to go for the Master Divine Shield. Appreciate you showing up, though. Really would have preferred to get the everyone gets a rarity upgrade, though. That would have been way more preferred. Look at those damage numbers. Oh, I really hate these green skeletons. Okay, so it's a 16-minute mark where those pop up. I have a lot of the other timings kind of memorized, sort of. But the green skeletons are just annoying. That's all I got about it. I feel like I take the most damage on a green skeleton time. Ooh. Yeah, I'll take an extra projectile. Thank you. That's going to be very handy. This gem high really does just help us avoid a ton of damage by keeping up the extra movement speed. And I think it says that it increases our actual like base damage. Gain movement, attack, and skill speed. Oh, okay, so it's all just cooldowns. So attack speed, movement speed. Okay, so it's not actually damage, but because we're attacking so frequently, we do get a good amount more damage. I don't think our ravens are doing nearly enough to help our mayhem build continue to increase. I feel like they must have changed just how sharply the green skeletons track you, because I feel like I could never dodge those before. Okay, this is one encounter that I don't entirely understand yet. So you get the golden faceplate tank wall, whatever, to pop up, and they just come straight at you and do a ton of damage and are super fast. But they don't give you like a chest or anything like any of the other elites do. Do they give you a lot of money? It doesn't look like it, unless that was all the money that just spawned around it. But I feel like those are just coming from the other enemies just as frequently. So I must just be missing what the golden face tank wall. What the heck are these things even called? I must just be missing what it does exactly. Maybe it just gives you like a big experience orb. But it's like the only elite enemy that comes after you that doesn't give you a chest. I mean, the devs are working really, really hard in this game, so I'm sure they'll continue over 1,000 damage. I'm sure they'll continue to make updates. I believe the next map has to be coming out very, very soon. Jeez, those are crazy fast. Yeah, they definitely reduced the speed of the green projectiles, because if they were heading that kind of speed, you'd never be able to dodge a tracking projectile that just locks directly on you. I'm surprised I can even dodge these freezing projectiles here. I mean, I didn't dodge one of them. We actually had the Divine Shield pop earlier, so that was actually Divine Shield really coming in handy. One of these days, I will get the no damage run. It's like a 0.1% completion rate, and I'm not convinced that all of those people aren't just cheating. Like, I am not convinced those people aren't just cheating those achievements in. It was the first Soul Stealer that we've picked. Oh my goodness, that's so many. Oh, ow, that hurt a lot. We have so much healing, though. We should be fine. We'll get plenty more. Look at all of those gems. Oh, come on. Stupid chatty skeleton is too fast. I'm just going to sit over here and get myself a little bit of movement speed. The really tricky part about this 19-minute skeleton attack here is they all have like half of their health is barriers. So honestly, my best... Oh, it's basically the same as the slime. So if you just move off to the side here and keep skating around the edge of their spawn, you'll have a better chance of just not completely dying. We'll grab more movement speed. So you just skirt around the edge of this massive spawn area. So that way you don't just have to get a crazy amount of damage. I will say having a ton of damage does make it easier. By moving around in a circle around the first time getting the alteration rituals popping up, it makes it so that way you're getting significantly less enemies popping around on your side, and you have much less to dodge. This barrier, them having half health barriers, really does cause an issue for just simply doing enough damage to stop them from attacking you. Everything else, you could usually just... I'd like to get to a spot where I could maybe pick up another... Nope, it's not happening. Okay, Baron, time to witness my skeletal army. Hopefully I was able to explain that, how to skirt around the edge there. Same mechanic here. These are full barriers. Woo! Okay. Just move off to the side, skirt around in a circle. You should be absolutely fine. Something to keep in mind with Dracula is he's got a couple of things that will be a big pain. This little situation here is obviously a big pain. That is also a huge pain. Don't do what I did there. Dodge. When that comes at you, dodge directly towards Dracula. You want to dodge into Dracula, so that way you have the best chance of actually dodging and getting an immunity. Wow, he has so much health now. This is not fun. There's too much health on screen right now. Please, you have too much of it. I have my strongest build, and he is not just being deleted. Wow, I didn't take damage there. I really should have. So dodge towards Dracula when you see those projectiles spawn. You can escape those by just simply moving by just simply moving around. But the ones that track you, you want to dodge into Dracula, because otherwise you're just going to cause them. Okay, wow, thank you, Divine Shield, for making up for my mistakes here. It definitely reduced the amount of damage that does. Those used to do so much more damage. Yeah, you want to stay a bit of a... Why did I just take those to the face? I've been recording for too long. They will event... Oh my goodness, 4 of them? 5, 6? What is even going on here? This is our first Divine Shield upgrade. Jeez. Wow. That's nice. That's very nice. Getting a nice little legendary pop there. Wow. That hurt. That hurt a lot. Please stop doing that. There you have it. Darkness 30 run on the books. On recording, finally. I can't believe I haven't recorded any of these yet. Just going to drop a couple of these not so great items. Hopefully, the stuff that I was saying makes some sense. Dodge into Dracula when you're trying to avoid his massive projectile that tracks you, and you'll avoid a lot more damage. Skirt around the edge of the enemies on screen, get them all grouped into a circle, and they will spawn less frequently on the edge. Use Scotty and the massive healing that they get as a passive. If you enjoyed that and you want to see more ridiculous builds and just simply fun playing roguelike games, turn that subscribe button rainbow for me. And I hope to see all of you creatures in the next one. Bye-bye. I'd love to give a quick shout out to all of the channel members. I'm Afrailian, Pasta Luke, Lady9F1, Todd Gyron. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It means everything to me and brings my dream of being a full content creator one step closer. Bye-bye.